Hello, everybody.
Ms. Ray,
Yes.
you come on up and take that. And then Ms. Langhorst and Mr. Stegman. Why don't you come on up? Mr. Stegman, you can take a seat at that table
Where do I sit?
on the other, where the other chair is available. If you can go on the other side of Mr. Stegman. Okay, so Ms. Ray, you start. Actually, so Ms. Langhorst, you're here, and then you ever served with this petition? How did you find out how to be here?
She served papers.
Okay, so you were served. Okay,
And then this is my son.
got it.
And
And you folks live together?
yes, 36, 8
Okay.
years.
And then you folks are neighbors?
No. She.
Okay, so
moved-
hang on just a second. So if we're going to start with the testimony, we're going to start with her. I'll swear her in, and then I'll swear you folks in, and then I'll hear from you. Okay, so I'll come back to you. I'll let you tell that story. I was just kind of looking for a yes or no there. And if the answer was going to be longer than that, then we're going to swear everybody in, and I'll hear your version of what's going on out there.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Go ahead, ma'am. Could you raise your right hand, Ms. Ray? You swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Go ahead. I'll hear from you.
Okay. I served an order, had it served against Jeremy because he's just got more aggressive, like he's always felt welcome to come into the yard for some reason. Now he's sticking his chest out and rushing at me like he's trying to intimidate me, and it does. It started with him stealing off the porch a heater. And he came the next day and I said, "Did you come to tell me that you were going to bring the heater back?" And he said, "I didn't take your heater or your pack of cigarettes." I didn't say anything about the cigarettes. So, he just comes and takes what he wants. Lately, he's vandalizing property. We're in the middle of a remodel, the dishwasher. There's a pile of stuff out and back. I saw him kick them all over out of the pile. He's vandalizing my slow down in the driveway signs. I literally saw him take them off, throw them in the blackberry bushes. I put them back up. He did it again. Now they're back up with some pretty heavy duty wire. He calls me names. He doesn't. I have 3, 5, and 7-year-old grandkids that our kids don't even want to leave him there with us anymore because he's out of control. He was arrested with less than 24 hours after being served the temporary order. He's got a long record. He was picked up earlier this year out in the access road. That's why we have an access road. He doesn't need to leave that and come on our property. And he was picked up early in the year for yelling at the top of his lungs naked with a knife on the access road. I shouldn't have to live like that. I shouldn't have to worry about him coming over onto the property.
What's your response to the question that I asked Ms. Lang? I mean, are you folks neighbors, or how close do you live to each other?
They live behind us.
Okay.
And there's an access road that we have to let them up.
Right.
But he hangs out in our driveway, which is not part of the access road. He leaves the access road and hangs out in front of the house. He doesn't need to do that.
What about Ms. Langhorst? You've asked for an order against her also.
Well, because she sits, she pulls in the driveway, honks her horn till somebody finally goes out and says, "Please don't call the police against Jeremy. Don't call the police." So when he was ripping the signs down, it was probably a couple weeks ago, I called her and she screamed at me so loud. It was, I can't tell you one word she said. It was incoherent and hung up on me.
That was Jeremy.
Okay, so ma'am, you'll give a turn.
Okay.
Like, remember what I said at the beginning, don't be
I'm
talking
sorry.
to the other party.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
go ahead, ma'am, you may continue.
That's about it. He just does not need to come onto our property and rush at me when I'm out watering. I shouldn't have to be afraid to take the garbage out to the garbage can and have him rushing at me. coming out. Now, we quit going out to the front porch so much. We've been in the back porch because it's quieter, or it's, you know, I don't have to worry about him as much. Now he's just blatantly coming.
How long
back
have you lived there, ma'am?
5 years.
Okay. And then how long has this been going on?
It was probably 4 years. It's just getting worse now.
I see.
The aggression's getting worse. Just the last year or so.
Ms. Langhorst, you could raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Absolutely.
You can put your hand down. So what's happening out there? First of all, well,
Okay.
you go ahead and tell me what's happening, and then what I really want to know is, do you need to go onto her property to get to yours?
I don't go on her property.
Okay.
I have an easement that is my easement into my driveway. I have pictures of everything.
Okay, so
I need to show you though.
okay, well, you can, but, okay, so go ahead. I'll hear from you. What about the honking?
I don't honk anywhere. I don't go in their driveway, period. You need to hear the story here to know what's going on.
Okay.
I have an easement. I've lived there in my house for 27 years.
Okay.
She lives with Ken, who owns his property. She lives with him.
All right.
And she's been nothing but trouble to me, calling me on the phone, telling me somebody's going into the easement too fast because she don't want dust on her car. And she, can I show you something?
Well, just finish your story, then.
She's put signs up on my easement, F you, slow down, asshole. I had a friend, I didn't have the friend do this. He was appalled, and I have a letter from him. He was appalled that she could put signs like that up on it's my easement, not theirs. Okay, I've always never cared about Ken coming in on the easement, no big deal. I've never had any problems with Ken, who owns the property at all, ever, 27 years. Jeremy always went down there to Ken's and they exchanged conversation. He gave Ken cigarettes. Yes, he did take a propane tank off their porch and put a fan there and I told Cindy this, he put it there because he thought he loved Ken and it would burn their house down. He has not been down there. He did not see the protection order, and he was so offended. I've got pictures of it, of the signs, and this is her standing on her porch. She watched every car that moved come up my easement into my place, called me on the phone. This car went in there too fast. I don't mind Cindy having a 15 mile an hour speed. I've never went up my driveway fast since I've lived there. Never. She wanted to put speed bumps, a gate across it. She's caused me problems with my heart. And also Jeremy was away from the house for other reasons for a while. He has a mental disorder, but he is one of the kindest people in the world until he saw the signs that say asshole, F you, and I've got pictures of
Do you have pictures of those?
Yeah.
Okay, but just show them to Ms. Ray first.
She knows what's there.
Okay,
I know.
put
I
them
want
there.
you to show them. I'm not going to look at anything until, actually, ma'am, are you with them?
Yeah.
Could we want you to save Ms. Langhorst a trip there? If you wouldn't mind coming up, ma'am, you can stay seated. Ms. Langhorst, stay seated, please. I'm just going to have you take those pictures, give them to Ms. Ray.
That's my sister who lived on my property
Okay, all right,
for
thanks.
16 years.
Okay, all right.
Here.
Go ahead and take a seat there. No, she can take a seat there. You can go back.
I also want to give you, Judge Meyer, I want to give you the letter.
Well, who's the letter from?
the friend who took the pictures because he was so appalled.
No, that's it. I don't need that.
It's just a total embarrassment to have those on my easement.
Okay. Could you, and Ms. Ray, can you bring those up to me, please?
That's her standing out there eyeing whatever's going on, like she did for months. And I got a call on the phone, and I believe Jeremy hung up on her for a harassment. He thought it was a harassment person. I have always been cordial to Cindy, except when she started ranking my son.
Okay.
for putting
Did you put this sign up, ma'am?
I did.
Can these go in the file?
I don't care.
Yeah, okay. We'll put
But
those.
I can't live. I have health problems. I had a brain bleed and heart problems. I can't deal with, and Jeremy got angry because the signs were on the driveway, on my easement. It's not their property, period.
Well, you know, I'm not going to take a whole lot of time.
They have their own driveway to come into their place. And
Okay,
now
so hang on just a second, ma'am.
okay, I'm upset.
Okay, clearly.
I can't believe this is happening.
Well, it is. And so,
I don't want
you
to
know,
go
I'd
on her
appreciate it if
property.
you wouldn't interrupt me, was what I would like.
I'm very sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm upset.
Um,
This is appalling to me.
okay, so. Ms. Ray, I'll come back to you. I thought I heard Ms. Langhorst mentioned Ken. Ken, does he live there still?
Yes, that's
And
right.
he had indicated that, she had indicated that Ken and Jeremy used to get along, still get along. What say you to that?
Well, even after I moved in, Jeremy would come and hang out on the front porch for a while. And I'd say it's time to go, he'd go, but he's gotten more aggressive. Can I make a response about the access road?
Yeah.
It is in fact an access road. Ken owns it. The signs are on his property line.
So
That's-
that's what I started to say. You know,
Okay.
and I'm not going to go into the term. I mean, I know what an easement is and where it goes. Maybe an easement might go over someone's other property.
Right.
You don't need to explain that to me.
Oh,
You know, she does own it. She has an interest apparently in that property. And when she has an easement, she can drive back and forth. Yes, maybe it goes through your property, but you know, again, that's kind of a distinction without a difference for me. So what I don't want to hear is, you know, who owns the property or who owns the easement or all that sort of stuff.
They have their
I
own
do, please,
driveway.
man. See, you just there's just basic manners that you need to conduct yourself in court.
I'm sorry.
And one of them is you don't interrupt the other party. And, you know, it's really not a great idea to be interrupting the judge either.
I've never been
It's
to
just
court.
not. Well, I have. And I'm trying to tell you
Okay.
how to behave once you're here. And that is don't interrupt when people are talking, anyone. So again, this really isn't in front of me in terms of who owns the easement and all that sort of stuff. I mean, anyway, go ahead, ma'am. You were saying,
well,
or were you saying that don't talk about the
I
easement and
was
property
done.
owners? Okay. All right. So Jeremy, I haven't heard from you.
A long time. Hi,
Hi.
my name is Jeremy D'Artagnan Statement.
Yeah, you told me that when you came up here earlier. So you were here a couple days ago. Do you remember that? Do you remember being arrested?
Yeah,
Do you remember being in jail?
yeah,
Do you remember being let out?
yeah.
Do you remember anything else about that?
I don't like plunging in the toilet.
I'm sorry, you need to speak a little bit louder.
I don't like plunging in the toilets in there. It's hard to do.
Okay. But,
I had my wraps up. I got snipped off and I left.
okay. So,
It's just record.
you know, what's the story out there with you and Ken? Is Ken a friend of yours? Or a guy you know?
Used to be.
When did it stop? Okay, ma'am, Ms. Langhorst, I'm talking to him. Go ahead, or do you remember? Do you have an opinion as to when it stopped?
Used to be.
I'm sorry?
Around 6 months ago.
Okay, what happened? Do you remember what happened?
Yeah, actually what I did was, I just went back to my house and,
Okay. So do you hang out there anymore? Do you go to visit anymore to the Rays or Ms. Ray? I don't know what Ken's last name is.
Yeah, I can't.
Can you stay off that property?
yeah,
Okay. Can you not rip signs down?
right,
You understand that even if you don't
Yeah.
like them?
right, yes.
Okay.
Can I have,
No.
no, I can't say. Yeah.
So here's the thing, Ms. Ray, and everyone else, I'm just gonna speak plainly as I can, because he was in front of the court on September 9th. An order was entered that he's to be evaluated for competency, which means he's gonna have to be interviewed by Western State Hospital and all that to see if he's even, and since he's out of custody, that's probably, they're so backed up, given the lack of state resources, it's gonna be at least a year before we see that. And he's had other cases that have been dismissed for that same reason that I see. And so, yeah, with regard to the order against Ms. Langhorst, I'm not going to grant that order at this time. Not all conflict rises to the level of harassment. If people don't like each other, they don't get along with each other, that's one thing. I'm not going to grant an order against Mr. Stegman too, because basically I'm concerned about a lot of the things that I just identified. I can't make a finding that he's intentionally trying to be harassing or upsetting or anything like that. But you need to stay off that property. Can you understand that? You're not to go there anymore.
Yes, correct, Your Honor.
Okay. And with regard to you two, you have rights in the easement, right? I already told you I'm not, just close your mouth and don't act so shocked, all right?
No,
You
no,
just-
I'm not acting
okay,
shocked.
Okay.
I just wanted to speak again
Okay,
because.
no, you're not, but you know, you have a right to an easement. Apparently you have an easement interest on that, but you just not interrupt me, please.
I didn't.
Okay, you want to say something and you're trying to start. I mean, again, I've been at this long enough to know when people want to talk. Okay, so just exactly. So you have an easement. You have some choices to how you want to take advantage of that. You can take advantage of it in a way that you know she wants, that's appropriate and respectful to your neighbor, or not, right? And with regard to you, ma'am, they have a right to go on this. You don't, this might be bad news for you, but you don't have the right to impose speed limits on that. You just don't. I mean, you don't, you know, if they're being reckless or something like that, then you can do it. But I mean, if you have the 5-mile speed limit up, if they come in at 10, you can't write them a ticket. And so you can request that and have them respect that. And they can't be, again, they can't be reckless and drive on it without a license and all of that. But you guys have lived next to each other long enough. You should be able to figure this out between the two of you. And then see, and then everyone's gonna say, oh, it's not my fault, it's theirs.
Can I
And so,
speak yet?
but ma'am, I will tell you this. I've already told you I'm not gonna enter an order. If you choose to speak, the only thing you're gonna do is talk me out of that to do something else.
No. I don't care if you have an order.
Okay.
I don't go there to her anyway. The only time that I've ever even talked to Cindy,
Did you hear what I said about how you conduct yourself on the easement?
I have always went up that I respected Ken from the time I've moved there to go up that easement
Okay.
slow. It's the people who come to my easement to come to visit me
Okay.
have went up the driveway faster than they should. I don't care if she has a speed limit sign.
Okay, so hang on just a second. Did you ever think to maybe talk to those folks about, hey, you might
I
want to slow
did.
down? Okay. Did they respect that?
Yes. Yes, she
You agree
doesn't
with
want
that?
dust on her car.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. I don't care about the speed limit sign on my easement, but the ones that say the F word and the ones that say asshole are very disrespectful to my company that comes in,
All right.
into my place. I don't
Well,
care.
again, hang on just a second. To come back, because again, you should,
This is
you're-
what this is actually
yeah.
all about.
you're
I
not,
don't.
you
honk
hang
my-
on just a second. You're not helping yourself. So I'm going to stop you.
Okay,
But with regard to you, putting signs like that, which I'm not going to repeat, are provocative. I mean, anybody who reads a sign like that, who's driving on that road, is going to think, gosh, they're talking about me. What the person
Embarrassing.
calling me that for? So that's, again, that's another reason why I'm not entering the order. But, and so, because again, a lot of that, I consider that provocative when you put up signs like that. And so I'm not going to enter order right now. Jeremy, you need to stay off the property, and ma'am, and I don't know whether anything I've said has made anything registered on you.
Yes, it has.
And so,
But I don't go on there.
and so, but with regard to, don't put signs up like that. I know you don't be calling people those names.
I took the one with the F word down, that's been down
Okay.
since after 2 days.
All
I
right.
just wanted to make a point that the posts were private property and they couldn't take stuff off of them.
All right. That's it for today. You all are free to go. You can get copies of the denial orders off the Thurston County District Court website.
Could I have my pictures back?
No, you said you said I could put them in the file.
No, I want those pictures back.
Do you have digital copies of them?
No, I got those copies. You didn't get the letter from my.
No,
friend.
I don't need that.
Okay,
I asked you if you could put them in the file when they go in the court file. Can you make copies?
I can't.
They'll be black and white. You can get them back black
I'd
and
like
white.
those copies back.
No,
Well,
you can't have them, ma'am. They've been submitted in the court file.
I can, okay, no problem. And I'm sorry if I was rude in
You
here.
can go, you should just stop and you're free to go. You can go.
Is she done though? I don't buy it. I don't trust her. She's got a story to tell.
For being so kind.
Here we go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You stay off the property there, Jeremy.
You're right, Your Honor.
Can I say something?
No, you cannot. The
Not
hearing's
even
over. The other party's gone. You,
Ken doesn't care if we come on there, his property.
okay, so I just told you to stop talking. Listen to your sisters. Okay, so you can have this conversation out in the hallway.
You're not giving it back.
Give a warm heart, man.
Okay. Jeremy, why don't you come on up? I'll give you these pictures back. You can have black and white.
Something.
Shut up.
Okay, you guys are gonna be asking for orders against each other in a few minutes. Okay, ma'am, just stop, please. Stop talking.
I didn't show Jeremy the protection order, so now he's in court and she put him in jail. I didn't show
Okay,
Jeremy.
ma'am, the hearing is over. You're free to go.
Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.